important for us to be compliant with the API regulation? What does it mean? What opportunities does it present? So why do we need to be compliant? The reason why we need to do that is because the bigger picture of it, and it's good that we did a study back in 2021 just to test the amount of lead that is coming out of the batteries that are being disposed at the Dandora dam site. And the results were really shocking. A lot of children developing around that area grow up with very slow cognitive or very slow neurological development because of the amount of lead consumption that has gone into their bodies and exposure that they get. So why should we be responsible managing our own waste? And it's because of that. It has serious issues on human health. And if not, it also has serious issues on the environment. Then number 2, why is it important for us to be compliant as a corporate, as a business? The reason why people should enroll or should be able to be responsible of their waste is because at the end of the day, it makes us manage costs of the business. So when we manage the waste responsibly, be it paper waste, plastic waste, it helps us in reducing the cost of business. And then also in terms of the brand identity. Right now, if you talk about Apple and the big countries, all of them are now focused on how the implications of their business don't harm the environment. So for brand identity, as a corporate, are you ensuring that you are also training your staff? Are you training your staff on how they can manage their waste, be it for you as a company, but also for them as individuals, how they manage their waste in their homes? And it's good that We Center usually does corporate training. Just sit down with one-on-one online or hybrid session with corporates and also staff, just to enlighten them on why it is important to do all these things and to be compliant with the law.
Wow. So let me just take you back to the study that you guys did. So in the Dandora dam site, where you guys did your case study, besides the health implications and the deterioration of the environmental aspect of it there, what other issues were alarming?
Another issue that was alarming was the waste of resources. You see, when you just throw away the batteries in the dam site, we could be able to extract minerals from these items. So that means you've just thrown away money. In as much as waste is looked at, we don't, like, as We Center, we don't call waste as electronic waste. We usually say this is a feedstock. This is actually revenue. This is actually a whole economy that we are talking about. Yeah. So when you throw away these resources, it was alarming to see like how much resources are just thrown away. Like, for example, the batteries, those things can be reclaimed. We could be able to extract precious metals from items that are thrown away in the dam site. And this can actually boost our incomes and revenues, as a country.
Wow. So there's something that I really want to understand. For the people working at the Dandora dam site, do you engage them as We Center, or how do you? So there's a corporate waste collectors, and then there's a dam site waste collectors, or let's call them just waste collectors.
Yeah.
How do you work with these two types of collectors, or take us through the journey of collecting waste and how we does it?
So it's good that you've mentioned about the young people, because We Center is passionate about our business model is anchored on community, and it's a very big part of our ecosystem. We engage youth, women, who can be able to start up their own business in the e-waste value chain. So training them on how they can be able to source, what is e-waste, how can I source for e-waste, what do I need to dismantle if I get in touch of if I get e-waste, and then what can be sold so that I can be able to generate revenue from it. So it's something that we are very passionate about. As we center, we've been able to train close to 600 youths on just e-waste entrepreneurship. And then, so now, once we train them, we give them also a training on health and safety, because when you're collecting waste, you need also to ensure that you are protecting yourself from hazardous equipment and also hazardous waste that you interact with. So we give them a training on how to fully put on PPEs, and then how they can be able to safely dismantle other items if it is manual dismantling, so that you find people in the dam site just knocking down CRTs, and they can be highly explosive, which is dangerous. So we just teach them on the technicalities of them. So once we interact with the people from the dam site, we show them the items that they need to bring, the ones that we buy from them. So we buy items from them, from the dam site, so that they can be able to also elevate their livelihoods and earn a living from what they collect. So once it reaches to our facility, of course, there is weighing. There's also sorting that is done to segregate what is hazardous from what is valuable. And then what is valuable, we weigh them per kg, we pay them.
What's the least per kg?
Least per kg, that is the lowest, is 100 bob per kg.
Really?
Yeah. So I can collect close to 10, and then I get my 1,000 bob.
Aya, tuifanye very practically. Niko na biriki yangu pale nyumbani. I have probably an old radio player. If you're looking for now, this is away from the dam site. Now this is segregating waste at source. This is at home now, where you want to dispose of your chargers. So how do you go about weighing that, and how do you collect that?
So as we center, we've set up collection points. When you go to Carrefour, you can find our bins there. If you go to Total Energies, you can find our bins. Major banks, DTB Bank, you can find that we have partnered with these corporates to ensure that they create access point for people to come and do drop-offs of the electronic waste that has become obsolete. So at home, if I have my dead dispenser, I have my dead, for the big items, you can just call us at www.wecenter.com. Go to our website, you can find our number. You call us, we can come and collect your big, huge equipments from your house. Then the small equipments right now, if you have earphones, the small equipments, you can actually go to Carrefour and drop them off there. In the different counties, because we have collection points across, we are accessible in all the 47 counties. We have created... we have a 40-foot container that we are working very closely with the county governments. We have set up containers that act as collection centers. So when you go to Kajiado, you'll find us in Kitengela. We are in Machakos town. You can find our container there at the social hall. When you have your electronic waste that is not bulky, you can just come and drop it off there.
So so at what point do people get paid? If all these drop-off points are there, at what point? Because I'm assuming ama hii inakuanga ni kujitolea mhanga.
No. With the electronic waste, there are ones that are hazardous, and there are the ones that have value. For example, if you want to change your bulb at home, where do you place it?
In the dustbin. After I've removed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's electronic waste, you know that? Because it's powered by electricity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. When we were kids, tulikuwa tunaenda tunazi break somewhere.
which is really bad.
Yeah, but now that we are adults, we just put them in the bin and then that's it.
So for the bulbs, you're supposed to segregate it. Actually, you've talked about something that people do when they have the fluorescent bulbs and they become obsolete. They give the kids to play with it.
Yeah,
which has high concentration of mercury, and it has also phosphorus. That powdery stuff that is coming out of that bulb is actually very hazardous. And the best procedure to handle bulbs is that when you exchange the bulb and it accidentally breaks, you're supposed to exit the room immediately.
Really?
Yeah. And then give it time for the dust to cool off. Then get a damp cloth and wipe the dust and dispose the cloth. Don't mix with the kitchen waste. That's what normally everybody does. They mix their bulbs with their kitchen waste. And also, like when you these things have got like mercury, and it's really bad for your skin.
Yeah.
You know? And some of this, it's funny because some of these items have actually been tested and they are carcinogenic. They can actually do that. They can cause cancer if really not, if they're not managed well. Yeah.
You just made me realize that I've been ignorant on how I dispose of my bulbs because why? Hey, okay, now we know. But now, when coming back to the topic of the day, what is according to you, what is the one thing that you know that really works well, and how can companies move from waste disposal to waste recovery and circularity?
For companies, for them to move from waste disposal to recycling and be cautious, I think EPR is key. So for them, they need to register their businesses with NEMA just to check that they want to be compliant when they are handling their waste. And then they need to do take-back programs. If I am a person who produces phones, how can I tell my customers to bring them back when they are dead? Because you are leaving your customers hanging.
Wow.
You know? Can they do take-back programs within their corporate? So that then their customers can have a touch point where when this item reach end of life, they can bring them back. Another thing is that they need to maintain records of whatever things that they are handling, so that at the end of the day, I see companies launching their sustainability plans, their sustainability records and all that.
Yeah.
It's important to keep data of the items that you are producing, and also the ones that you are managing, so that at the end of the day, you can track footprint of carbon emissions that you've been able to avoid in the environment. Then another thing is that it is good to pay for EPR, for the fees. Why? It's because that fee is supposed to trickle down to the people who are actually collecting your waste that has ended up in the environment. Yeah. So now this fees is supposed to make sure that the people who are handling their waste, your waste, their processes are easier. Yeah. For the people in the dam site. Like that money is supposed to actually trickle down to the young people who are actually collecting waste to the downstream. And then for corporates also, what they need to do is that it's not a them problem. It's an us problem. It's so holding awareness sessions within companies, holding trainings that call in experts that do waste management to come in and talk to their people and say, okay, we are trying as a company to manage it, but it does not even trickle down to me alone. I like what I&M does with their customers. They usually tell their customers, bring all your electronic waste, or bring their waste and bring them to the bank, because it's not about us and our staff, it's also about the customers that we serve. And then that trickles down to everyone now being aware.
Wow. They do that?
Yeah, they do.
So they do a call to all their staff and all their employees.
Yeah.
Okay, all their employees and all their
Customers,
clients.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So according to you, what is a good corporate waste management system looking like? So is it segregating at source? Is it licensed collectors? Is it data tracking and reporting? All that you've discussed. But according to you, what is the one thing that is just the it thing that companies need to have?
The it thing is that for them, first of all, if they are doing, they need to audit themselves. You know, when you don't know, in fact, it comes from awareness. The first thing.
Yeah.
So you need to do a self-audit. The corporate needs to do waste audit.
Wajite kamkutano.
Yes. How are we complying? Are we, you know, they need to just do an audit and to understand, do we generate waste? How much waste volumes are we generating as a company?
Yeah.
And then now, once they do that audit, they need now to sit down and now segregate waste.
Oh, wow.
If it is paper waste, how much are we generating? If it is electronic waste, where are we putting it? If it is plastic waste, how are we managing all that?
Yeah.
So that is the second step. Then the third step is to look at, now we've segregated all the waste. Do we have someone who is handling these things? Are they licensed? Because most of the time we want to use the shortcut method. I have paper waste. Ndio hii hapa, nani anataka? No, ndio hii hapa. Mtu amekuja, iko wapi, analeta chukua. We have to be very deliberate in terms of how we are choosing our recyclers. So that we do not find that we thought that these things are getting recycled, but now some of them are ending up in the environment. That is the third step.
Yeah.
Then develop a waste plan. And that's why I said EPR is it's not even the future. It is the
it is the now.
It is it. If it is something that will help us as a country, is the EPR regulations. Because now this will make sure that everybody is conscious and is compliant. Now, if I have a plan, I need to make sure that I'm submitting that to the regulator so that they can hold me accountable. If nobody is holding me accountable, then why am I doing all these things?
Yeah.
You know? Then at the other end, this corporate need to train their staff, their customers, and all that. And last but not least, they need to continue to do monitoring to see if they're improving. And check, okay, last year we did this. Last year we were able to reduce our waste by this percent. Okay, this percent now. I think that should be the way of a compliant corporate management waste system.
Yeah, because I mean it has to start somewhere, and the beauty about it is, with the EPR regulations, companies now, manufacturers, producers are required by law.
Yeah, under Section 13 of the Act.
Yeah, but looking at where we are as a country right now, how would you say what is the biggest challenge with collecting e-waste? Especially because in corporates, I think you guys have hacked it because now it is by regulation. But generally, it's still the same thing when we're talking about segregating at source from the house, or you're talking about people need to segregate waste from the house and they still have one dustbin, still can't work. So what is the biggest problem when it comes to collecting e-waste?
For us, I can say for electronic waste, it's a different waste stream. It also people have an emotional attachment to electronic gadgets. And it's also because of how expensive it is to get these electronic gadgets.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to drink water and to just dispose of that plastic bottle. But for you to do away with your phone that you bought, the first job that you got, and you bought that phone, it has a sentimental value.
Yeah.
Number two is that people feel that they need to get value for that money. So if I bought these items at X amount, somewhere in my mind I'm thinking that I should get that money back from this item, which sometimes
even
is
if
not
it's a
possible.
half or a three-quarter or a
people have
quarter.
imagined amounts in their heads. They really do. So when we have created a way that when you bring in electronic waste that is hazardous, nobody wants to take that.
Yeah.
If I want to get something that is of value and I'm a business, what do I go for? I only go for things that give me value. I don't want to deal with things that are problematic. But then it beats the whole point. What are we doing this for? When I started the show, what did I say? Why is it important? Why are we actually doing all these things? It's because at the end of the day, we want to create a better environment for the next generation to come. So as we center, even if you are disposing of your bulbs, those things I cannot pay for, but it's also a cost for my business to make sure that it is disposed of correctly, number one, and it's properly segregated and shipped out of this country. And that's a cost for me, right? For the ones that are available, we also want to see that young people are being empowered and they are paid for the items that they bring. For the household items, for example, if you take your item to Carrefour, right now you will be disposing those items, right? The earphones, the phones, the everything. But we want to create a model where, now with the EPR regulations, where when you dispose your item, there is an incentive that you get.
Coffee.
Yes.
Tunapenda incentive sana, by the way.
Yeah, so that we incentivize best practice. When you bring in your phone, then you get eco points that you can go and redeem for books, for hospital bills, a universal redemption point for the items that you
actually that would make sense a lot, because if let's say I've brought in a washing machine that is broken, cost value, in as much as it is broken, it is still a value product for you, because you're like ikae tu hapo tu, so as we are decluttering the home, the
there
incentives,
should be an incentive mechanism.
And do you need to bring in the receipts that it is yours? How do you take care of theft? Because a lot of people may go stealing people's things because they're like, hapa tumeambiwa iko pesa. How do you ensure that you're protecting people from theft and burglary?
True, and it's good that you've talked about that. We were talking the other time is that when people talk about waste management, they also associate it with those bad things like theft, smuggling things. When they say, according to the Basel Convention, with the cross-boundary movement of making sure that you don't transport waste into other countries, it's actually associated with people smuggling things, drugs, all that. So what we do at We Center, once we collect all these items, we do not, it has a time frame when it's being dismantled. And we had discussions with the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, so that if the items that are stolen or they are brought to a facility, that maybe we have a grace period of time to know. And the reason why we do an inventory of these items is to check, this item has a serial number, the source where we took it from is Icon Radio. All the items before they're disposed, we have a record of their serial numbers and where they came from. And then we give them a time frame. Maybe even for the items that you disposed, maybe there is one item that you need to recall them back. We give them a 30-day time frame for you you can recall the item. Maybe you still needed to use it somewhat, Yeah, so that we can closely knit those things that are stolen, maybe so that they don't end up in our facility.
Wow. So what of the ones that we're disposing of at Carrefour and stuff? Are those ones you're 100% zinatupwa?
No, all of them, we take inventory of, and the source where it was disposed, it's Carrefour, so all the records are taken.
Okay. So that is one of the challenges you were talking about earlier, about how people are attached to their own gadgets. Like my best friend, this was a gift and it is broken, it is no longer working. What would be your advice for people to let go? Because it is not easy. There's a sentimental aspect to it, and here you are saying bring them to us. What advice would you give them?
I think if you love your life, if you love yourself, you should not be holding them. We live in homes where our homes have, like, we all the time there's moisture around the house.
Yeah.
If I have my dead TV there, my dead items, they are exposed to moisture. And once they're exposed to moisture, one time they will leak. And if that happens, you are exposing your children, you are exposing yourself.
Yeah.
I think one thing is human health. Let's not talk about any other thing.
Yeah.
If you hoard these things, also they accumulate a lot of dust. And most of the time I see people, once the electronic gadget does not work, they hoard them under the beds of where the kids are sleeping. Under the bed, because that's where the space is found. You don't want to just hold them anyhow or something like this. So think about your health, because these things are still emitting. Just release them. That's number one, before we talk about any other thing. If you could be able to accept that this thing can actually cause you harm, more harm than good, then just let go of them. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I think another fear that we have is data privacy. You see, by the time, like, let's say for a corporate, we have our old computers, we have our old hard drives, and they're all stacked in a room because that's our data. And we do not want our data exposed everywhere. So how do you ensure data privacy is still conserved when they're deciding, hey, manze, it's now time to dispose? What are the measures of assurity that you give companies that your data remains untouched and, it will not be exposed anyhowly?
At We Center, we do data destruction. So you don't need to worry about your data. Anything that comes to our facility, that data is permanently destroyed. For companies, we do that service of data destruction. We use Blanco. We also use physical destruction. We have a way in which that we do destruction of the hard drives, so that the data that you have does not get leaked or is not. So we have a way that we manage that. We work with the banks, we work with embassies, and we've been able to have confidence that all their data is not leaking out or
So mtu anakujanga anasimama hapo ana make sure it's got destroyed ama how?
We can do it at their premise.
Oh, okay.
You can come to the facility, depending on how the customer wants. We are very flexible.
Oh, wow. Okay. So as we wind up, actually we're going to take a short break, and when you come back, we're going to be winding up the show. And when we're winding up, we just want to understand what are the opportunities when it comes to e-wastes, besides, collection, which I think is the highest opportunity, waste generation. I mean, financial gain, but you can look at what are the other opportunities available for young people, for women. I don't know if you guys do people with who are able differently. You're going to tell us more about that when you come back. But let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we discuss more on this. And today we are discussing the right way for corporates to discard their e-waste, and not just e-waste. They need to have proper waste management practices. And I loved what you said. You need to have a waste management plan, and it is easier to collaborate than try and doing it all by yourself. And the EPR regulations allows you to go into different PROs. So that's a very good plus for us. So we take a short break, and when we come back, we discuss this and much more. This is Icon Radio, and this is definitely Sustainability Connect every Wednesday between 10 and 12 noon. And we are streaming live on www.iconradio.co.ke. And you can send in your questions, your comments on any of our social media platforms, that is on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, and also on YouTube. So thank you for staying tuned, and thank you for engaging us this wonderful Wednesday. See you soon.